My name is Kirsten Plotkin. I'm a 73-year-old grandmother. At my age, I'm told I should sit back and enjoy my retirement. But then I wouldn't be me. You see, I know a few things nobody else will tell you. It'll be another couple of decades before it becomes common knowledge. Since you're here, I'll assume you have a weight problem. That means you're affected by a number of things that nobody wants you to find out about. First of all, you don't actually have a weight problem. You have an addiction problem. You've become addicted to fake processed food and drinks loaded with sugar. Sure, today we're more modern human beings, but our digestive system is not. It's the same as our ancient ancestors. We are forcing our body to digest processed foods that our body hasn't evolved to understand. When it comes to food, we're human beings. We do not adapt, we evolve. I'll make you a promise. I'll prove that you have a food addiction, and I'll tell you how you can get rid of it. An addiction is an unstoppable, consistent hunger for a substance, in this case processed foods. They rule your life. Food addiction has the same symptoms and consequences as drugs, tobacco, and alcohol. If you don't cure it, it'll probably kill you. It can lead to morbid obesity, diabetes type 2, colon and bowel cancer, and heart disease. How do I know that? Let me tell you my own story. It started for me when I was about 43. Until then, I never had a weight problem. Neither had any of my family members or friends. Weight problems were simply not an issue till around 40 years ago. That's when we had a worldwide media scare campaign about cholesterol. Millions of people were encouraged to give up natural traditional foods for a modern new diet based on 60% manufactured processed foods. It was at that time I went into hospital for an overnight procedure. During the procedure, something went terribly wrong, and I suffered a cardiac arrest. My heart stopped. Amongst other things, it damaged my thyroid. I was told I would have to be on a special diet for the rest of my life. I had deep reservations and was suspicious about my recommendations that followed the so-called food pyramid. I met some of the people involved in the creation of the food pyramid and knew they had simply reversed our traditional eating habits to create a diet that was called a cure for high cholesterol. The doctor assured me the dietitian was number one in her field and would give me a diet she herself had designed, so I agreed. The decision cost me 20 years of struggles against an ever-growing weight problem and constantly feeling hungry with food cravings that never stopped. It was as if my entire life was controlled by food. When you have a major upset to your health, you get scared and become more receptive to medical advice. I followed the instructions I saw the dietitian. She gave me what she called her 3-to-1 diet plan. If I hadn't been so blindly obedient, I would have immediately recognized it as the food pyramid. When I finally did, I was no longer surprised to notice that the more I followed her diet, the fatter I got. When I finally came to my senses and began to think about all the things I knew that could put the puzzle together, I realized something important. I had experienced 43 years without diets or advice from so-called experts. During those years, I did not have a weight problem, and neither did most other people. I knew many of the so-called diet experts who were suddenly dictating what was healthy and what was not. I could easily have been one of them. I observed that in the new pseudoscience on food was being created for or being sponsored by the processed food manufacturers. I began to remember the events that had brought us from never having to diet to this new modern diet for everybody. 40 years ago, diets were only for sick people. We still had the instincts that told us when and what we should eat. When we gave up our natural approach to food, we lost our instincts and are now forcing our metabolism and digestive system to change. We had opened the floodgates to endless varieties of fake processed foods. It's any wonder that today everybody diets and everybody's getting fat. We are obsessed with food and it's killing us. Do you know what makes me angry? How about one of the world's biggest industries profiting from an addiction of their making and nobody's prepared to stop them? It's the tobacco industry all over again. Once I realized that, I had to find a permanent solution to my weight problems. A few years earlier, I had made a similar decision and cured my 3-pack-a-day tobacco addiction. If I could cure my cigarette addiction, I had no doubt I could cure my food addiction. All I had to do was work out the triggers and set up a plan. This was my eureka moment. From that moment, I knew I would cure both my addiction and weight problems for good. That was 10 years ago. Not only did I lose the weight, I learned how to control it and how to nurture back the basic instincts I had lost. I also realized I had to devise a system that would get the same result for everyone. I want to ask you a really important question. What do you really want your life to be? Whatever it is, good overall health and lean, healthy body has to be near the top of the list. Without it, everything else seems second rate. Deep down, we know diets don't work. That's exactly what makes them so unique. You will not be dieting and cutting down on food. This is not about a new miracle diet. This is about a revival of our approach to food. The weight loss simply follows with the help of your own body. It took me 20 years to come to my senses, to stop listening to other people and start thinking logically. Then document the right answers into a proven food plan and process. I've created a membership that'll take you through the whole process. You'll get 6 carefully designed modules. Each module takes you through 2 weeks of step-by-step instructions. If you follow them properly, you'll win the food fight. Subscribe now for a week's trial, which includes the first module. All you pay is $3. You will have daily direct access to me through our Skype group. I will be there to help you every step of the way. If after the week you do not want to continue, simply cancel the membership and keep the module. If you wish to get serious about your plan, then simply pay $14.95 a month to go all the way to fight your food addiction once and for all. Imagine your life then. Click your subscribe button now so we can start helping you to say goodbye to your addiction and your weight.